Alright, we're out here at Day 5 Moto Ranch. Second track day of the season, trying to learn, get more practice in and figure everything out. Got the 110, 125, fabricated brake lever to figure that out, but it should get us through the day. So it's a pretty awesome track. Got some big jumps. It's going to take me 4 laps to get used to on the 110. Maybe a little big for a pitter, but we'll figure it out. It's a good day for it, so not too hot, not too cold. We're going to get out and get driving, and you kind of see the track back there. We'll have this strapped onto the helmets for a while. Love the bus. Trump 2020. No more bullshit. What do you think of that?
Oh, I love it.
He loves it. He loves it. He's going to try the 85 later. We'll see how he does on that. Real bike compared to this. But we're going to get out on the track, get rolling, see what happens. Hopefully I don't go over the handlebars again, because that hurts.
On, and that's on. So let's do it. you went,
My whole head hit.
ooh, really? You good?
I don't know.
You don't know if you're good?
I jumped fine at the track the other day.
Yeah.
I fucking ate hard. I don't know why I can't run. That's a GoPro on.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go back to the truck and change my boot.
Dude, I hit the whoop. I was on the whoopties, and you see where the mud pile was? I hit that. I held on so tight, it's on camera. Alright, since I don't know if I got it on camera, Lance hit a jump, and he couldn't control it, so what happened was he just like spun out. So now he's scared to death to do anything. He's talking to the owner of this place. You need to go check him out if you don't know where we are. I'll have to send you to Lance to find that out. But yeah, I've been fine except for when I almost went over the handlebars and then I hit a bad jump. Didn't land right. So yeah, we should be good for the rest of the day. We're gonna keep riding, get some good footage.
I go slow. I get you on camera. I go slow. Go. No.
up short or whatever, and hit really hard, what your suspension don't take, if you bottom completely out, then you can take it here and you're probably not going to notice it. You keep sitting there on your ass and doing that all day long, you're going to want to eat a whole bottle of Tylenol on the way home and then be whining and crying when you get there, slinging snot and tears with both hands because you got a headache. You see what I mean? And that could be part of your nose diving problem. Because I think if you got stood up, I don't know on that one just because these are so different, but it probably should be close to the same. I'm looking at where the pegs are according. So when you're going around in corners, were you watching me rail that corner down there in the bottom when I was riding his bike?
Oh yeah.
Where were my nuts at? Yes, sir. When you go into them corners, get them nuts right up here. Right here, center of that circle is the center of that dirt bike. If you're further back here, you take weight off the front end. So when you go in there, when you're going around that berm, just wanting to climb that berm because you don't have enough weight on it. And you're putting weight where the power is at, which is going to keep pushing it, and which makes you feel out of control. So get to the center of the bike. Nuts right here at the gas tank, and that'll move your weight to the front. That'll make that front end sit down in there, and you'll go around it. Dry, rutted, whatever. It will set the bike up to go around that corner. But it's just like a round race car. What they call running tight or loose, you would be running loose right there, and it's going to want what they call push. The same thing on a dirt bike. It'll push right out because you don't have enough weight distributed to the front. So get in the center of that dirt bike. Every dirt bike should be. I didn't know about this one in particular, but that right there is your center point. So if your nuts are here, then the main weight of your body right here is going to be right over that. You see what I mean? And just a little bit behind it. I mean, obviously you can't put them up here. That ain't going to feel good. But you're going to be pretty much over the center. And when you go into it, in order to keep that thing seated into that corner, when you come in, you want to feel like you're trying to break that foot peg off with your outside foot. So if you're turning this way, try to break that foot peg off this leg, and keep your knee as tight up into here as you can. And then you want this one tight, and run that leg straight out right yonder.
Thank you.
And point your toes up to the fender.
Yeah, so
Because the faster you go, the closer this handlebar gets to the dirt. When you get real good, it will be dragging dirt. That's what they call dragging bars. If them toes are pointed out, your toes will hit first, and you'll jerk yourself right off the dirt bike. We do limbo contests out here for fun. It's a blast. Put a stick in the side of the berm, and you come around there. Same thing as regular limbo. How low can you go? It's fun. To step up where it's just long. It's a corner, but there's not a berm to set into. You're just kind of out there, and it's all gravelly feeling.
mm-hmm.
So you may gain a little ground there,
Okay.
but what you gain there, you could possibly lose over there.
Right.
Now, that later in life becomes a rider issue, because the more experience you get, you'll know how to deal with it. You'll be like, all right, well, I've got more of this to do, so I'm going to put a half a pound in, and I know I just got to be a little more aggressive on the corners to keep it seated,
Mhm.
or vice versa.
Right.
If you're not as good in the corners, keep your tire pressure about the same where you feel good in them corners, and then deal with the rest of it in your skill, out on in the flats.
Gotcha.
When you're just hauling ass and it feels like it's just kind of skating.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is, most important, squeeze as tight as you can.
Squeeze.
The tighter you squeeze, the straighter that dirt bike will go.
Yeah, it's all just
Always.
hard to get used to. It's everything, the
And-
position. It's just, it feels retarded. Just like they say, you
Yeah,
know,
it does.
when you're in that riding position, everybody's like, the bars are dangerous. You want to be away from them. No, you want to be up on danger. You know.
And here's another thing you have going against you. I mean, I'm guessing because you haven't said anything. This is your first dirt bike, right?
Right.
You didn't. I mean, you haven't been like pit bikes, as I mean, kind of a lot or a lot of your a lot of your riders have more dirt bike experience. So
Mhm.
then this comes more natural.
Right.
It's, I mean, you change it. I mean, you're almost above the tank.
Right.
Versus if you're riding a grown man's bike, your knees would be down in here, right?
Mhm.
And it gives it a better feel for where you're gonna, and the bike feels different. So you're learning on something that's going to already be dicey. These things are dicey anyways.
Yeah.
That's why I say that little half pound. You know, if your weak point is in the corner, I would stay like this and then battle it out on the dicey, because really you can straighten a dirt bike out with your knee.
Okay.
And kind of what I was telling him again, if you start out riding a grown man's bike,
Yeah.
you would have that comfortable feel of being up all the time and in what they call attack mode. Okay, so attack mode is balls of your feet, which is right here.
Mhm.
Don't put your heel all the way up there, but balls of your feet, and then so when you're in attack mode, then your knees come to here in the tank, chin bar right over the bars. So this is all natural on a bike that fits us.
Yes.
It's unnatural here, so it's an adjustment, which is tougher for me to try to teach you, because you're doing it kind of backwards.
Right.
And what I'm trying to say, I guess. Not that there's anything wrong, but you see what it's hard for me to put into, because it changes things. But then these go to there, and you got your elbows out. Chin bar is right over the bar and the number plate right here, and you're looking ahead. And when them knees just squeeze there, this bike can be doing this, but that's something that's going straight as an arrow, because you're locked in, and it does not matter. It will not wreck. I mean, yes, you hit a big old rut and you kind of cross rut, yes. But when you're up there on it, I mean, your knees are going to make them adjustments. You see a deep rut right there and it kind of has a crook in it, and you're like, oh, that ain't going to be good. I mean, just adjust, and you go right into that rut, or go into that rut. And this back end, because, so here, all right, when you're back here and you're riding comfortable, and you feel the front end doing this, where's our weight again? Yep, because right now, with this being kind of your first day, you're probably only scooting your nuts up when you go around that corner, and then you fall back to here. So now when you're in the straights and you're telling me, well, if the tires feel soft now, well, not really. You're putting all the weight back here, so it's just dicing around. But if you can get stood up and get up here and get that weight on the front end, now the back end is dicey, but you don't give a shit about that back end, because you're locked into this thing. And as long as you've got this thing pointed where you want it to go with your knees and your head, because you're gonna that bike's gonna go where you look pretty much too, right? Just like a baseball. So now this back end can be doing this. Don't worry about it until like you go to set into that corner. When you drop back to right here and you scoot your, because usually when you drop back in, like that, most trainers will tell you your ass don't hit the seat until the last braking bump. Well, you start coming into the corners, you're coming down a straightaway, well, there's braking bumps. The track started out smooth this morning, but everybody's on the brakes and their bike's doing this right here. The track starts doing this as the same thing. So you're coming through the braking bump, and then you hit that last one and the corner's fixing to start. You may set down, but then you scoot into that son of a gun. And when you scoot in, where'd your weight go? You equal this bike out, you set the suspension, she gone. The back end straightens right out when you set it where you want it to go. The bike does anything you want it to do. You tell this bike where to go, and 99% of it is right here. The other is the rest of your placement.
Yeah, but you're right, starting on small one.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, if this is all you're going to do, just learn it. But it's just harder for me to try to change my teaching a little bit. For one, I'm not a real coach, but I know enough, and I've listened to, I've got thousands and thousands of dollars in the last 3 years of taking them to different camps and stuff. And, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, they don't bring that shit home with them. We're the ones that's got to listen to that and bring it home and remind them of what Coach Matt or Coach Scott or whoever told them to do. We're the ones that's got to remind them. We're the ones that's got to remember that. Well, like I say, I got thousands of dollars of it, and that's why I'm passing it on to you. And that, I mean, that's why I love what I do. I love to help people. And, so it's all the same basics, just a little bit different form because you're on this dirt bike. But even me, it didn't feel bad. I mean, you're up right here. You're on the balls of your feet. Boom. Your ass is tucked. That's putting weight back here. but you're compensating for that because that chin bar and your head is right over this front end right here, and you got them elbows square. This son of a gun, see like this right here, boom, it can do anything it wants to do, and you can do anything you want it to do. So your arms will move this way. But if your arms are down like this, well, you ain't got nothing. You're going to either go through the windshield or you're going to start sliding back. See what I mean? Elbows got to be up and square, because now that dirt bike's doing anything, and you can do it. Because when you're moving them knees, I mean, you're right with it. Elbows coming in, elbow goes out. That son of a bitch will go around that corner, and you'll start dragging bar. You see what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's not going to be overnight. I am preaching a whole lot of shit that I can't do very well. Yeah. One of the very best coaches in the United States of America that takes percentage-wise, there's him, Matt Walker, there's a few others like Colleen down in Florida. There's a handful, but this group of 5, 6, 7 trainers, national trainers, that's all they do every day. They don't have another job. They have kids at homeschool and live with them all year long. They don't live at home, and all they do is eat, sleep, breathe fucking dirt bikes and everything, and they work out, and they do their homeschooling for X amount of days, and they're doing a diet. Zach Master, him and I grew up together from 4 years old. Crazy thing that I end up in Kansas, and with a girlfriend's kid who started dirt bike racing, and and get to rejoin with him 2 years ago. I've seen him again for the first time after 25 years since high school. And he went and done his thing. I've been off doing my thing, but dirt bikes brought us back together because he's one of the best coaches. When you see all of the pictures that gets all posted everywhere on Facebook and Instagram, and you see anything about Zach Mashburn, and he's got all these little 50, 60 riders, 80 riders, and some big guys too. He's got this big old arm load that are all kids that he trains all year long. Matt Walker, all them bigger names, kind of the same thing. When you start, all of a sudden you're down to the guys, nothing away from Scott Getkin. He's a local pro, decent guy, smart, but he doesn't have kids that go to Loretta Lynn's, If he does, he's got 1 or 2. He doesn't even show up to be on the podium with him, But those guys, I mean, they will tell you it's not going to come overnight, and a lot of them can't practice what we're preaching to you. Zach Mashburn, this motherfucker can't spell dirt bike, much less ride one. He couldn't ride a bicycle when we were in school as kids. But if you will sit there and listen to him and do what he's told you to do, he'll put you on the podium anywhere you want to freaking go. Part of it is ability and heart, and the skill, and then the rest of it is the want to learn to do it, and be able to listen. There are some kids, it's just like bull riders, Tough Hedeman, they told him he was too long-legged, that he didn't have the ability, didn't have the skills, that he would never make a bull rider. He did it because he fucking wanted to. So there's those people too, And the little bit of dirt bike riding Zach has done was because he wanted to, but he's a damn good trainer. So again, back to what I'm saying is, I can sit here and tell you this, I can't do all of it, but I can get you pointed in the right direction. And you can go to 100 different guys, and they may all say something a little different, just like Logan can tell you. We go to Camp Boom Diggity, it's 12 coaches in 3 days. They all work on pretty much the same thing. They all do corners, they all do this, they all do that. They're all telling you kind of the same thing, but each one of them has a different style. Like Logan was getting all confused. I'm like, dude, you got to listen to all of them and do it his way when you're at his station. But if that doesn't work for you, don't bring it home. You got 12 options that these guys have taught you that's all going to get you to the same point, but it's all style change. Because one of them may be telling you exactly the same thing, but maybe he, maybe he brakes different, or maybe he uses clutch. Some doesn't. Some trainers don't want you using clutch going in the corner. It's hard to do that with two-stroke guys, because if you hear a two-stroke guy out there, you're clutching all the way through that corner to keep that wheel speed up and to keep that son bitch moving, right? So but it's just style difference. So I mean, like I say, I can tell you what I can tell you. You can go and listen to 15 people, and if they know what they're talking about, we're all going to tell you the same thing. But if one of them has you just a little bit different position or whatever, it's all still geometry correct, but just maybe a little style. One may want you to ask a little higher, a little lower. Some guys get way up on the, I mean, really up, but like, I don't know, because this is my comfort right here. I'm squatted, my ass is off the seat. I've got control of the bike. My head, my chin bar is right here. My elbows are out. I can take this stomach anywhere I want to go.
Alright, well, F5 Moto Ranch is in the wraps. We had a pretty good day. We got some good riding in until Austin's
Dumb
exhaust broke off again, and the brake lever that I jerry-rigged and fabricated with some JB Weld had enough and it broke off. But all in all, it was a good day. These guys are very knowledgeable, great people. We learned a lot. His son is up-and-coming racer. He's learning a lot on his 85, and yeah, this is an overall great place to be. So if anybody is ever in South Kansas, hit up F5 Moto Ranch and come ride their track, because it is amazing and the family is wonderful. So we're out of here for the day. I had a great wipeout. I tried to clear a double, damn near triple. Pit bike, I didn't have enough, and wiped out, lost control, handlebars jerked on me when I landed and hit my shoulder pretty good. So I'm gonna go home and take some pain medication, maybe some ice, some heat, hell, maybe an Epsom salt bath. I don't know, but I need something.
They also have some great merch. They have really cool gloves. They have hats sometimes. They just have a lot of stuff. Like, here, show them. Like him right there.
There he goes.
He's rocking a blue sweatshirt that says F5. And it's pretty cool. You should check them out.
We out. Till next time.